Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Public Opinion Tea Time with your host, Pam, and normally VANETTA. But I'm on vacation this week, so I'm here in LA with my daughter, Taylor, and her best friend, Charlie. And we have just been sitting around having a wonderful conversation. And instead of tea today, we have wine because wine is the new tea. Okay.
And that's the tea.
You heard it here first, honey.
Okay, the new tea. But what I like about this whole conversation that we've been having is hearing fresh, young perspectives on things that I've been talking about for years. But it's always nice to hear a perspective of younger people. And what we have been talking about are male-female relationships, as well as just things really talking about men, but also talking about men's perspectives as it relates to women and our perspectives as it relates to men. And one of the things that Charlie actually was telling me about this topic, and I didn't even know it was a thing going on social media, but was about female accountability. And how, Shirley, you want to explain what it was you were telling me about?
So there's this giant movement, particularly among black men on the internet, and it is this claim that women lack accountability culturally. And I strongly disagree.
Yeah. Now, and then when you say they lack accountability, that's the part I didn't understand, because as far as I'm concerned, women always have to be accountable for pretty much everything that we do.
Yeah. Everything. I mean, whether it is or isn't our responsibilities, I mean, even if you think of different points in time and in history when, men were dying in war and being taken out of the home due to just different governmental situations, we had to hold down the fort. If we didn't, who was going to? Even as it pertains to children, right? Like, you don't really see a lot of women just up and leaving their kids. It's primarily, you see a lot of single mother households, not single fathers.
And you'll be looked down more so if something happens to your child or whatever. They'll be like, well, where was the mom, or what was going on?
Exactly.
And so that's why I'm like, we are accountable all the time. Even when we have jobs, we still are expected to come home and still maintain a household
we
for
bear
the
the
most
brunt
part
of the domestic labor.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then now Taylor and both of you all are new moms.
Absolutely.
And so you all are kind of experiencing some of the things that I experienced as a mother. And when I, just like with the kids, I would find myself asking my husband, well, can you watch the kids? If there was something I wanted to do, I'd be like, can you watch them? And it's like, it shouldn't be so much, almost like you got asking permission. You should be able to say, I'm going to be doing such and such. I need you to watch the child. Not, can you or do you, almost like we have to find out first, if you don't have anything else to do with your life, can you watch the kids?
Can you step in?
Yeah.
Because it's my first priority, not necessarily yours.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're also held accountable for our own emotional stability.
Right.
And it's almost like, and women though do have that kind of self-introspection where we can, you'll seek out a therapist, because you're the one that told me, Taylor, about the importance of emotional health, taking care of your emotional
and your mental and your emotional needs. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so what do you all think as far as men doing that? Do you think they are accountable for their own mental stability, or do you think most of the time a woman or somebody else has to say, you may need to go see somebody because you going crazy and I can't have that?
Do you want to? Because I have Also, can I give a disclaimer? I think that men on the internet just need to stop. They keep trying to start podcasts. They keep trying to tell us what to do. Stop telling women what to do on the internet.
Period.
It's very old.
It's played out.
And see, I don't know. I guess I don't see these things.
So right now, just a disclaimer. A lot of millennial men are all starting podcasts, and it's really, they all say the same thing, that we're not submissive, that it's just it's basically that black women are the enemy, and
you don't make sandwiches.
And the movement started by their leader Kevin Samuels, may he rest in peace. like the internet and men, like they need to get like, you know how you can disable accounts? They need to disable black men's accounts.
Ban them all.
Ban them. But anyways, moving on. I do think that men do not hold men accountable enough. Like, they don't talk about what they're going through. They don't talk about their emotions. There's really not a lot of accountability with men, period. Right. When they're acting out or something, it's almost like their friends or their others or peers almost put a blind eye to it. They're like, you good?
Oh, so you're saying that men don't check each other.
They don't check each other
with their behavior.
No.
With their behavior.
But I don't even think that they would know where to begin.
Yeah.
There's such a widespread lack of emotional intelligence amongst men, especially, unfortunately, black men. And I don't really think that it's their fault. There were so many things that transpired generationally, but, you know, but at a certain point, we have to take responsibility. You know what I mean? If we want to improve, if we want to grow, we have to take responsibility. Okay, sure, my childhood or different things that happened to me in my life might have contributed to some issues that I have, but at the end of the day, what results of that trauma is my responsibility. What I do to my friends in relationships, in friendships, in my relationship with my parents, in my job, that is my responsibility. So it doesn't matter what happened to me that made me that way. I must now go inward, seek counsel, seek mentorship and wisdom, and not just in, oh, hey, how can I increase my earning potential? You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I think that that's really when men seek help, it's like, how can I increase my earning potential? It's not, how can I show up better as a father, as a husband? How can I actually learn
to know exactly the real conversations that men have.
Right.
You know, I know, like you said, a lot of them are more geared towards career and, you know, if that's it, or sports or something, but they're not really seeking each other.
Cryptocurrency.
But they're not really seeking.
If I see another cryptocurrency course or forex course.
Okay, you're right. You're like, okay, now they're like, now that's something we're going to talk about, you know, or something like that. But you're right. It's not.
Are you invested in crypto?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Forex.
Are you invested in your mental health?
Period.
They're like, or they'll be like, dude, what's up with you? Ask me about something like that. It's, you know, or they may even go somewhere else with it. But
or they'll be like, I'm cool, man. I'm cool. That's not what I asked.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get like you,
man.
I'm trying to get like you.
Unless I think the only way they
surprised.
really would do that is if their friend really like hit rock bottom and did something crazy or something like that. But I do, like you said, I think that men don't hold each other accountable enough.
And even then, what do you tell them to do? If you see your friend hit rock bottom, the suicide rates of men are sky high. And what do you do when you see your friend?
I took the wrong glass.
No COVID. Like, you know, what do you do when you see your friend at rock bottom? What do you refer them to? Because so many men have an aversion to counseling.
Absolutely. I know.
They think counseling is the enemy.
They do.
I don't want to tell people my business.
I don't want to tell people my business.
Which these people do not care.
They don't care. They get paid, and they're held under Hippocratic oath, and that's that. Period.
This is what they went to school to learn to do, is to help counsel you. Now I understand, like, maybe you may say, I want to only go to a Christian therapist or something. That's fine.
And those are available.
But to say I don't feel like I have to go see anybody. It's nothing wrong with me. I can, work this out or something. Or they may just turn to self-medication, self-help. Their self-help is not like what we refer to as self-help.
Typically, we know that overindulgence in sex, in alcohol, in drugs, even going to the gym too much of anything is not a good thing. We're very well aware of that. But I think that we're also held to a higher standard. Women, in order to be marketable, in order to be desirable, which is what we are raised to be, that is the direction that we go in. That is how society grooms us up, is to be desirable and attractive. We know that, okay, if I turn into an alcoholic because I had a falling out with my best friend, that's not attractive. That's not desirable. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, okay, how can I really, really fix this? And I think also women are socialized to be more emotionally competent. And I think that because men are not given the same avenues, I don't know if it's because they're not socialized that way, or if it's because it's not encouraged, if it's because it points to some weakness.
I was just about to say, they look upon it as a weakness.
Right. And it's
like,
or as girly.
Yeah. And that's another thing. They almost look at it like, you know,
like
I'm not, you know, what do you think? I'm not a woman, you know, I'm not no, you know, using those other terms. Right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like I said, when we know how to seek out things to help ourselves for the most part. Absolutely. You may take a hot bath, call your friends, go shopping, you know, do some meditation when you get the time. And that's the thing. We still do that in the time that we have. After if you have children, you would have to do it after the kids are asleep, or you have to find somebody to watch the kids. But you still know that there's something that has to be done.
Something has to be done. And I think also that men don't have the same level of emotional intimacy in their friendships as women do. I could go to my friend. I could come to Taylor all the time. Girl, oh my God, what is going on? This just happened to me, and da 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 da. And okay, well, what do you think? Like, you know what I mean? We go back and forth and we encourage introspection. Yeah. It's like, okay, girl, let's just go out. Let's get out of the house. Let's figure this out. We need some sunlight. Maybe let's get a coffee. Take the kids to the park.
What do you need?
Yeah,
but men, when they did, I feel like even just something as simple as like men meeting up with each other to go to dinner, they don't do that. They meet up to talk business. They meet up to talk about cryptocurrency. They meet up to talk about it's never just like, oh, let's get lunch together and just.
Now I will say, my husband, your dad.
Yeah.
He and his fraternity brothers, yes,
Shout
they
out
do.
God bless you.
Every Wednesday they get together and they go out to dinner.
Oh, I love to hear it.
Yeah, they go out to dinner and they, you know, afterwards they may go somewhere and get drinks or whatever. Now, once again, though, I still don't know the conversation.
Oh, what are they discussing? Can I add another thing? They also go out for sports a lot.
Oh, yeah.
They do go out.
But that's a bonding.
It's at a bar.
Male bonding.
But they mostly talk about, okay, well, this is what's going on in my career. This is what's going on in my business. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. It's almost competitive.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to tell you about all my accomplishments and da-da-da. But it's like,
women will never do that.
Yeah. It's like, I'll tell you, like, so you can celebrate with me, or you can support me.
I just got a new blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you can join an agreement with me. Okay, I'm really trying. I'm going for this new job or this new promotion. Keep me in prayer. Like, you know what I mean? But it's not going to be like, oh, girl, this is what my... and this is what I did, and this is what my man got me, and like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not doing that. We're confiding in one another because it's good for our mental health. And I think that the thing is that men have been socialized to view emotions as weakness. But really, if you completely negate the importance of expressing yourself and you have a lack of understanding around what your emotions contribute to your life, you are cutting yourself off from like half of the human experience. I mean, everybody is incentivized by their emotions. When you say, oh, I want to pursue this career path, it's because you're passionate about it. What is that? That's an emotion. And the emotions are the springboard for every life experience. So if you say, oh, emotions don't matter, how does anyone get
every aspect of life has to do with emotion.
You're not acknowledging emotions, and not acknowledging them, one, does not mean that they don't exist. And suppressing them will cause you to act out and to misplace your anger, your sadness, your feelings of inadequacy. And then now you coming home to your partner and you snapping and you popping off on them, or you're popping off at work, or you're slacking, or you're not as competent, and you're not meeting your potential in the workplace because you're bogged down. But what do you do with that?
Yep.
You know? And so I feel terrible, honestly, for them. I really...
They don't feel bad. They're like, this is just how
this is how
I'm going to do.
But then you hear men say, oh, we don't have a safe space. We don't have anybody to go to. When we do our emotions, we want to feel peace get told
when we get home and be able to be vulnerable.
You're not my peace.
But when it's time to be vulnerable, nobody is trying to be vulnerable. So what do you say?
Well, I think it goes both ways. And I think that comes to another discussion, and that's about a lot of hypocrisy that we see. Like men want us to be able to understand and to be there for them, but then, you know, that's a two-way street. They have to be there for us and understand that we have needs as well, and you can't just come home and bring everything to us and think that we're supposed to be equipped to handle all of your emotional and psychological issues as well. and then, or a little thing, like you said, could just make somebody pop off. Whereas, how about just talking about this? How about just letting us know how you feel?
Directly.
Instead of coming with an attitude about something that doesn't have anything to do with us, you want to bring that to us. But then when we say, what's wrong? Nothing. There's nothing wrong with you. What's wrong with you? I can't. And then they even want to say, why something got to be wrong with me? I just want to have some peace. I come home and now you asking me what's wrong. It's like, okay, well, I don't even know now what to say.
I know.
So,
I'm at a loss.
But yeah, I don't know how we get to a point where we can actually get men to understand that they have to be emotionally accountable. I think there's an accountability that goes all the way around. So and like I said, I believe that women are very much accountable because we have to be.
We have to be.
We have to be
if
accountable.
If we aren't, who is?
Yeah.
The buck kind of stops here.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you enjoyed this segment or these segments of Public Opinion Tea Time, continue to follow us on FaceTime as well as Instagram,
Facebook and Instagram
and YouTube. And YouTube. So we'll see you next time for another episode of Public Opinion Tea Time. Bye-bye.
Toodaloo.
Bye.